Hi everyone, Morgan here. So a lot of people have been asking us about water, and so our water needs are a little bit different and how we're getting water is a little bit different, but it rains a lot more here. So we are going to be implementing rainwater collection. So like when I make the greenhouse, so like they're playing over there. So like when we implement the greenhouse, it will be collecting rainwater specifically to water the greenhouse. And then our outdoor garden, I don't think I'll ever have to water it like by hand because it rains as long as we've been here this summer. It's rained significantly and the ground is very, very moist in general. We're just kind of like in a very ground moisty area. Okay, so I've done the dishes. Right now, our system here is a little weird. I gotta empty that. I just emptied that before I did the dishes. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 gallons of water to do the dishes. But basically there's a pump back there that pumps the water out of here, up through the faucet, and then the water comes down into this bucket, and then we empty the bucket. That's how we're doing it for now. Eventually, we're going to dig a little trench. We're gonna cut a 55-gallon drum and bury it in the ground so then the gray water can go down below there. And then we're going to do the same for the gray water for our shower as well. We had that same system back in Arizona and it worked amazing. So we're going to do that again. We all just took showers. So that took, I would say, about 10 gallons for all 4 of us to take a shower-ish. It's probably a little bit less. We take really quick showers. We're using this solar bag right now. This is our unfinished shower, which we're going to be finishing off and getting a tub for the kids. We're going to be expanding out a little bit for a little bit bigger space. We'll show you guys that later. And then drinking water. So we actually have access to a well and we are hauling water. So we're hauling water in whatever containers that we have. Any containers. We actually have access to a community well in which we can get 250 gallons for a quarter. A quarter. No subscription fees or anything. We just literally walk up there and get it. Even in the winter, we would be able to take our snow machine to that well. It's so close to that well, and then fill up our jugs. And then we'll be putting those jugs in our shed. A couple things we need to do with it is 1, we need to get a little wood stove in there, and 2, we need to finish insulating the roof. Our cabin is insulated perfectly, but our shed really needs to be insulated. They left insulation down below, so we can finish insulating that shed. But it needs to be insulated anyway because our solar setup is in there with the batteries and everything, and it needs to be a little warm in there. And a little tiny wood stove in there if we ever need to spend any time in there. We found this little tiny wood stove that's going to be perfect for that. But anyway, and so we are still hauling water, but we go about once a week. And we fill up this isn't even all the jugs that we have, but we fill up whatever we can. And that's for drinking, doing dishes, washing hands, showers, laundry. I just did laundry, dogs need to drink as well. I just did a load of laundry. That can take anywhere from 5 to 10 gallons. Just kind of depends on how much laundry I have to do. Like the size of the clothing and all that, it all kind of takes different amounts of water. But other than that, the last consideration about water is we actually have a stream right behind our property. But we thought it was not going to be accessible during winter. So we were like, what are we going to do? Are we going to just, just go to the community well and that's all we're going to do, as well as melting snow while we are going to have our wood stove going, and, we could just have a pot on it and just keep it filled with snow and, melt the snow and then fill containers with that. That's definitely something we are going to do for sure. But something else we can do is actually go to that stream, even in the winter. our neighbor who's been here for like decades, yeah, he told us that he actually found that stream. And then in the winter, he found it in the winter. And he was like, it flows even during the winter. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So we have a little stream back there. And I'll show you here in just a second. But lastly, a lot of people are like, you don't have a well. A well is much cheaper here. It's like maybe anywhere, it can be anywhere from 70 to 100 feet down that people get water. It could be, you know, much shorter distance. But anyway, it is a lot cheaper. The problem is we're kind of rural. So the place that we were going to go with actually will not even come out here because of where we are. So we have to go to another place, and which is going to charge a little bit money. It's going to charge a little bit money plus, you know, the pump. So we didn't have that extra money, and we had to make a couple other big purchases. But we're pretty satisfied with how our consumption is going. You know, I can collect rainwater. We are going to get a rainwater collection system going, as well as, you know, for just general consumption, as well as for gardening, you know, the greenhouse, which is going to be next year. But we'll also be able to melt snow in the winter. So that's our general water setup. So let's go check out the stream. So I know it doesn't look like much, but it is actually an actual flowing stream. And we get our water from other source, which I'm actually not going to show you at this moment, but it is actually flowing water. And it supposedly will still flow even in the winter. We'll obviously confirm that in the winter, but this is one source that we get it. The person that told us about it said that it was really clean water, but no matter what water, you know, like wild water source that you get, you always want to purify it and make sure that it's good to drink. But we have lots of ways to purify water. You know, that's like a big part of preparedness. But yeah, so it's nice to have a water source, you know, so close. And there are other water sources. They're marshy. They're kind of marshy, but there are several water sources behind our place. But this is like a nice flowing stream. That's just kind of like a nice place to get water. But there are other sources local nearby that we could get, filter a few times, purify a few times, or something like that. And it'll be totally, I think it would be totally fine. There's even fish in it. There's fish in those water spots, and birds go to those water spots and all sorts of stuff. So this is our Berkey. We use this for a lot of things, for many things. Like if you're going to take it from an open water source, you're going to want to filter, and then put it through something like this, or a variety of other water purification methods. We have many, but this is a main source that we use. We have water all around us that we can go collect, filter, purify, all that. And then, you know, we have that community well that we can access as well. We can access on the snow machine, you know, on, you know, just with our truck, you know, whatever, on our Argo, whatever we need to do to access that water. And then melting snow. So yeah, I would like to devise some sort of system where we melt snow. We're gonna have lots of it, and it would be nice to just put like a pot on the wood stove and just have snow kind of continually, you know, going and melting and stuff like that. So that'd be nice. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. You guys were really interested in our water system and setup, and that's what we got for now until we get a well. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to you later. Bye.